Hi everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about the introduction to the complex number system. Now, how we are going to define the complex valued function, and based on the complex valued function, limit of a complex function, and continuity and differentiability and integration of the complex valued functions we will discuss. Before going to that, first I am going to define neighborhood of a point. Neighborhood of a point in a complex plane. Right. Suppose if I am going to take the complex plane, this is the complex plane or organed plane. Some A is a point, right? The set of points, general definition of the neighborhood is what? The set of points which are closer to A, right? So we say that is a neighborhood, right? Let A belongs to C, formal definition, A belongs to C, delta is greater than 0, right? Then the inequality is Z minus A less than delta is called a neighborhood of a point A, right? Suppose in case of real numbers, here it is, this is a real line, A is a point, for delta greater than 0, here it is A minus delta, A plus delta. So finally what we say, A minus delta comma A plus delta is the delta neighborhood of a real number A. But whereas in the complex numbers, here it is only two directions we have in the real numbers, from A minus delta to A, from left side of A and right side of A. Here if you take the point in the complex numbers system, right, how many directions we have? So many directions are there, right? These are the different directions of the, right? So that's why we say that it is a set of points which are closer to A with a distance of delta. That means the distance from A to any point in the region, right? A minus Z minus A is less than delta. Simply we say that this is a circle. The neighborhood of a point A is denoted by, or delta neighborhood of a point A is denoted by n delta of A. N delta of A is same as it is a circle, or simply we say that disk. This is the delta neighborhood of a complex number A, right? Or if it deleted delta neighborhood of A, deleted delta neighborhood of A, if you take this is the neighborhood of a point A, is a neighborhood of a point A, it is Z. In the neighborhood of, in the set, in the region, if you delete the point A, we say that is deleted neighborhood of A. This is the neighborhood, right? Next, we go for this complex variable function. Complex variable function, right? Let I'm going to consider two sets. Let A comma B are two non-empty sets, and there F is a mapping from A to B. F is a mapping from A to B. We say that this mapping is said to be function. The general definition, for every element of A is uniquely associated with the elements of B, right? We say that the mapping is said to be function. In case of real numbers, what I am taking, A is a non-empty set, B is a non-empty set, the set of numbers in A, every element in A is uniquely associated with the elements in B, we say that the function. But now we are in complex number system. That means to define the complex valued function, to define the function in the complex number system, you should consider, first we should consider two planes. I'm going to take, this is a Z plane, this is the Z plane, here it is W plane, or here it is simply I'm taking XY plane, or here it is UV plane. Yes, in the Z plane I'm going to consider the set. Set it is nothing but region. Yes, in the entire complex region. Now I'm going to take some part of the region, that is this is a subset of this complex, entire complex region. So A is a region, A is a set in Z plane, and it is B is a set in the W plane, and there exists a mapping from where to where? A to B. F is a mapping from A to B, right? Such that every element in A is uniquely associated with the element in B. So it is denoted by S. From where to where function exists? From Z plane to W plane. Inputs from Z plane, outputs are W planes. So this can be written as W is equals to f of z. The function is denoted by w is equals to f of z. Yes, note that in case of real numbers, if you take the function, suppose f of x is equals to x square, I am going to take. Here it is, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, right? If you are taking the x values, you will get the function values, that is y is equals to f of x square. X is equals to 1, y is equals to 1. X is equals to 2, y is equals to 4. As x is equals to 3, y is equals to some 9. That means in case of real number system, the function exists, it is a relation between x-axis and y-axis. But whereas in the function of complex variable complex number system, as the function is from where to where, plane to plane, that is very important. Plane to plane. When we are discussing about the mapping in the complex plane, so you should consider the another plane as here, and the mapping is existing between these two planes. We say that that is a function, right? Here it is the relation between x-axis and y-axis in case of one dimensional. Whereas in the complex plane or organ plane, it is a relation from region to region. One region from one plane and another region from the another plane, right? This is the complex function. Is it clear? Okay. Now let us give the example for the complex function, complex valued function. Let f of z is equals to z square. Since z is equals to x plus iy, that implies z square is equals to x plus iy whole square, which is x square minus y square plus 2ixy. So w is equals to f of z is equals to x square minus y square plus I into 2xy, right? That is, every z is equals to x plus iy, which is same as x comma y, is associated to what? X square minus y square comma 2xy, where x square minus y square is the real part and 2xy is the imaginary part. In z, x is the real part and y is the imaginary part. Under this mapping, I am trying to find the image of 1 plus 2i. Z is equals to s 1 plus 2i, then w is equals to f of z, which is equals to x square minus y square. Here x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2. X square minus y square. X square is what? 1 square. 1 minus 1 square minus 2 square comma 2 into 1 into 2. So what we have here, it is 1 minus 4, it is minus 3. Here 2 into 2, it is 4. That means 1 plus 2i is associated to what? Minus 3 plus 4i, which is same as u plus iv. Here also we can write it u plus iv. Okay, real part 1 is associated to 4. That means 1 plus 2i is associated to minus 3 plus 4i. Yes, this is a complex valued function. That means region to region. Yes, generally domain region considered to be z plane, we call as z plane, and codomain region, that is w plane, uv plane. This is xy plane, that is uv plane. This is about the complex valued function. Is it clear? Yes, in case of real number system, the relation between the horizontal line and vertical line. Here it is plane to plane. The function is plane to plane. Next, this is about the complex valued function. Next, we go for the definition of the limit of a complex or limit of a function. Limit of a function, right? Let w is equals to f of z be a function. Yes, formal definition: for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0. For given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that f of z minus L less than epsilon whenever z minus z naught is less than delta. The meaning of this is what? When z is approaches to z naught, then f of z is tending to L. This complex number L is called limit of the function w is equals to f of z. That means to represent the function, you should consider two planes. This is a z plane here. Here it is what? W plane. In the z plane, first I am going to take the point z naught. Right? This is the neighborhood of the z naught. When z is approaches to z naught, or z is approaches to z naught, the corresponding function is what? The mapping is f of z, no? Right. Here it is f of z naught, or L. L I am taking, then the function f of z is tending to L, right? The function f of z is tending to L. We say that this L is called limit of the complex function f of z. That means for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that f of z minus L less than epsilon whenever z minus z naught less than delta. The meaning is same. When z is approaches to z naught, then f of z is approaches to L. Here this is what? Delta neighborhood of z naught. In the W plane, what is this? Here it is epsilon neighborhood of L. Here L is a complex number, z naught is a complex number. Right, this is generally it is denoted by in simple way like real number system, limit z tending to z naught, z is approaches to z naught, f of z is approaches to L. This is the limit. Here L is finite and exist, we say that limit is exist. Okay, this is the limit. Now I am going to take the example on the limit. Yes, I am trying to evaluate limit z tending to 1 iz by 2. That means limit or f of z is iz by 2, z tending to 1 I by 2 into z, or direct you can substitute it, no problem at all. Is I into 1 by 2, which is equal to what? I by 2. Therefore limit z tending to 1 iz by 2 is equals to I by 2. What is the meaning here? In the z plane, z is approaches to 1, corresponding f of z is what? Which is iz by 2 is tending to I by 2. This I by 2 is called a limit of the function iz by 2, right? This is the existence of the limit. Here it is, we don't discuss about the left hand limit, right hand limit here. Note that here in this case generally what we are taking in the real number system, a is a real number, then a minus delta comma a plus delta. There are two ways, right, to approach a from a minus delta to a. As if limit extends to a minus f of x is equals to some L, so left hand limit, then is x is approaches from a minus delta to a, left hand limit. As if limit extends to a plus f of x is equals to L, when x is approaches from a plus delta to a, from right side to a, as this is called right hand limit. If both are exist, they are same, we say that limit is exist. But whereas in the complex number system, suppose if you take the z naught is a point complex number, this is the neighborhood of the z naught, how many ways are there? So multiple ways we have, right? We can't determine for each way, right? In that real number system, only positive from right side to that particular point and left side to that particular point. Here it is not possible. Just you are going to find whether it is finite, and it is same for any way, we say that limit is exist. Otherwise limit is not exist. We will discuss some problems on that also in case of continuity. Yes, this is the definition of the limit of a complex function. Now coming to the continuity of a complex function. Continuity of a function, right? Let f of z be a function, w is equal to f of x be a function, and f is said to be, the function f is said to be continuous at z is equals to z naught. It is continuous at z is equals to z naught for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 such that f of z minus f of z naught is less than epsilon, whenever z minus z naught is less than delta, or 0 less than z minus z naught is less than delta. It is similar to the previous definition, but instead of L we have f of z naught, right? That means here in the z plane, when z is approaches to z naught, corresponding f of z is approaches to f of z naught, right? So we say that the limit is f of z naught. That means the function is defined at z naught. So we say that the function is said to be continuity at z naught. For given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0, yes, such that f of z minus f of z naught less than epsilon modulus whenever z minus z naught is less than delta. That is, when z is approaches to z naught, then f of z is approaches to f of z naught. So we say that function is continuous. Suppose when we say that the function is continuous in the entire region, right? Suppose this is a region, this is a subset of the complex plane. It contains so many infinitely many points are there. The function is continuous at each and every point in the region D. Suppose this is a region D. The function is continuous at each and every point in this region. We say that the function is continuous in the entire region. That means the region consisting of the infinitely many points. So the function is continuous at each and every point in the region. We say that that is continuous on the region. Okay, let us take some examples on the continuity. Simply it is denoted by limit z tending to z naught f of z is equals to f of z naught. Yes, to check the continuity, yes, you are going to keep in mind first point, the function f of z is defined at z naught. Second one, limit z tending to z naught f of z exists. The limit is exists at z naught. And third point, limit z tending to z naught f of z is equals to f of z naught. We say that the function is continuous at the particular point z naught. Now let us take a example for the continuity. Yes, f of z is equals to z square for z not equals to 2 and phi for z is equals to 2. What is the meaning here? That is f of 2 is equals to phi. Now I am going to find limit z tending to 2 f of z. Limit z tending to 2 f of z, what is that? Here it is z square, which is 2 square is equals to 4. Limit is exist. The function, first condition is clear. F of z naught is defined. The function is defined at z is equals to 2. And limit is exist. What about third condition? This is the first condition. This is the second condition. Now coming to third condition, limit z tending to 2 f of z is equals to, actually what we have 4, but which is not equals to f of 2. What we say that? The function f of z is not continuous at z is equals to 2, right? A function which is not continuous at a point, we say that the function is discontinuous. So here in this case, the function is discontinuous at z is equals to z naught. Suppose the function w is equals to some node we have u of x comma y plus I v of x comma y. This is the function. Is continuous in the region D. Is continuous in the region D means it is continuous every point in the region. It is continuous in the region D. Then is the functions, the real part and imaginary parts. The real part is what? U of x comma y. Imaginary part v of x comma y are also continuous in the region D. This is a note. Now coming to the differentiability. Now our syllabus starts from here, coming to the differentiability of a function. Differentiability. Okay, let f of z be a function, be a complex valued function, and the function is said to be differentiable at z. General definition. The function is said to be differentiable at z if limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h exist and finite. This limit is exist and finite. We say that the function f of z is differentiable at any point z. At any point z. So here it is. This is denoted by, this is same as f dash of z or df by dz, which is equals to limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h. This, you know that this is the first principle of the derivative, but same definitions we we are using the same definitions already we discussed in the real number system, but just we are going to imagine where when we are taking the function, that function exists in what? Complex plane, complex number system, that is region to region. The function is exist in region to region, that means between the two complex planes. That is the difference. The rest of the things all same, right? The concept is same, but when we go for the representation, that is completely entirely different. Okay, now let us take one example for the differentiation. Simple example I am going to take. F of z is equals to, here it is z square. I am going to check the differentiability, the derivative of z square. So from the definition, f dash of z is equals to limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h, which is equals to limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h whole square minus z square by h, limit h tends to 0 z square plus h square plus 2z h minus z square by h, z square get cancel, limit h tends to 0, yes, you can common h plus 2z divided by h get cancel, which is h tends to 0 plus 2z, which is equals to 2z. Therefore f dash of z is equals to 2z. The derivative of z square is what? 2z. In the same way, we go for the derivative of the trigonometric functions, exponential functions, logarithmic functions. You know that same derivative is same, right? This is the definition. From the definition, the derivative of z square is what? 2z. Okay. Now important theorem. Okay, before going to the theorem, just two examples we have in the points of discontinuity. Suppose the first point, find the points of discontinuities, right? Find the points of discontinuities. Discontinuities of the following functions. First one, f of z is equals to 3z square plus 4 divided by z square minus 16, or z to the power of 4 minus 16. Z to the power of 4 minus 16. See, f of z, it is a quotient function. Numerator is there, denominator is there. See, the numerator, it is a polynomial, denominator also polynomial. They are continuous independently. Yes, it is continuous independently. This is also continuous independently. Every polynomial function is continuous, right? But to define the function f of z, when we are concentrating on the numerator and denominator at a time, if we consider, yes, the denominator is, yes, if the denominator is z to the power of 4 minus 16 is equals to 0, you will get the points of discontinuities here, which is equals to 0. That implies z square whole square minus 16 is nothing but 4 square is equals to 0. So it is in the form of a square minus b square. Z square plus 4 z square minus 4 is equals to 0. Z square plus 4 is equals to 0. Z square minus 4 is equals to 0. Z square is equals to plus or minus 4, or z square is equals to 4. Yes, z is equals to plus or minus 2i. Z is equals to plus or minus 2. Z is equals to plus or minus 2. Therefore, what are the points of discontinuities here? Plus 2, minus 2, plus 2i, minus 2i, right? Yes, in objective you may expect one question on this, right? Find the points of discontinuities of the following function. Yes, these are the function which is not defined, those points, right? The limit is not existing. If you take the limit, suppose if I am going to take limit z tending to 2, f of z, which is equals to what we have? Yes, 3 into 2 square, 3 into 2 square, 3 into 4, 12, 12 plus 4, 16, 16 divided by 2 to the power of 16 minus 16. Yes, any number divided by 0, it is nothing but infinity. The limit is not exist. To check the continuity, the function should follow the three conditions. First condition, function is defined at that point, and limit is exist, and the limit is equal to function value. The function is not defined, no? Infinity we have. So that's why it is not continuous. These are the points of discontinuities. Next, Second example, f of z is equals to cos z. As the points of discussion, cos z can be written as cos z divided by sin z. It is defined for everywhere, but if the denominator equals to 0, if sin z is equals to 0, what happens? Z is equals to n pi. The solution of the trigonometric equation sin z is equals to 0. N pi as n is equals to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 so on. Right? Means how many points of discontinuities here are? Infinitely many, right? That means n pi, the multiples of pi. N belongs to that is integer, n pi. That is infinitely many. That means minus 2 pi, minus pi, 0, pi, 2 pi, so on. These are the points of discontinuities for the function f of z is equals to cos z, right? Okay. Like that we have the problems on the finding points of discontinuity. Now we are in differentiation, right? Definition, what is the definition? F dash of z is equals to limit h tends to 0, f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h. Here that is the limit is exist and finite, we say that the function is differentiable at z. Now the theorem is the same theorem. Every differentiable function is continuous. Every differentiable function is continuous. Every differentiable function is continuous. Yes, that means let us take, now coming to the proof, let f of z be a differentiable function. Be a differentiable function. If it is a differentiable function, that implies f dash of z is exist. F dash of z is nothing but f dash of z is equals to limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h exist, right? When the differentiable, we have this condition. Now consider f of z plus h minus f of z, right? Now consider the term f of z plus h minus f of z. This can be written as f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h into h. Multiplying h with h and dividing with h and taking the limit as h tends to 0 on both sides. That implies limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z, limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h into h. Yeah, which is now I am going to concentrating on the RHS. That means two functions we have, one function and another function. Limit x tends to a f of x into g of x is equals to what? Limit x tends to a f of x into limit x tends to a g of x. I am separating the limit. Limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h into limit h tends to 0 h. But here it is what we have, since the function is differentiable, f dash of x is exist. That means this is replaced by what? F dash of z. So this term is replaced by f dash of z into limit h tends to 0, h is what? It is 0, which is equals to 0. So finally what we have? Limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h minus f of z is equals to 0. That implies limit h tends to 0 f of z plus h is equals to f of z. That means here it is limit is exists, that limit is equals to function value at z. So we say that the function is continuous. That means every differentiable function is continuous, right? Same theorem, but instead of instead of x we are taking z only. Yes, is the converse is true? Now I am going to check the converse of this theorem, right? What is the converse here? I am writing the converse. The converse of this theorem is the converse is not true. That is, every continuous function is need not be a differentiable. Every continuous function is need not be a differentiable. When you are writing the statement, you should give the counter example for that one, right? The function is not even the function is continuous, but it is not differentiable. Let us consider one example. That I am going to take one example for this one. Yeah. This example, f of z is equals to mod z. Yes. What I am trying to prove, this function is continuous but not differentiable. So this mod z is nothing but magnitude of a complex number. Yes, you know that square root of mod z is the square root of x square plus y square. Yes, this can be written as u of x comma y plus I v of x comma y. Only real part we have, we don't have any imaginary part. So what I am taking, u of x comma y is equal to square root of x square plus y square, and v of x comma y is equals to 0 comma 0. I am going to check the continuity and differentiability at 0, right? U of x comma y is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Now this is continuous at 0 comma 0. This is continuous, that is the real part is continuous, and imaginary part also continuous. Therefore f of z is equals to mod z is continuous at z is equals to 0. Now I am going to check the differentiability. Now f dash of z is equals to, from the definition of the differentiability, limit z h tends to 0, f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h. So we are going to check the differentiability at what point z is equal to 0. So I am going to take f dash of 0 is equals to limit h tends to 0, f of 0 plus h, f of h minus f of 0 divided by h. This can be written as limit h tends to 0. F of h is what? F of z is equals to square root of x square plus y square. F of h is equals to, here it is, mod h. Mod h minus f of 0. F of 0, it is a function. Yes, that is real part also 0. When we write z is equals to 0, which is 0 plus 0i, right? So it is f of 0 is 0 divided by h. So finally what we have? Limit h tends to 0 mod h divided by h. Now I am trying to find the limit of this value. Here, yes, we are checking the differentiability of the function at 0. Okay, this is a complex plane, this is the 0 we have. Right, I'm trying to find the limit of the function at 0. Right, how many ways? Along the positive real axis. Yes, h tends to 0 from positive real axis. So in this case, h is what? Greater than 0. H is greater than 0, mod h is equals to h divided by h, which is equals to limit h tends to 0, h divided by h, which is equals to 1, along positive real axis. Along negative real axis, that is h is less than 0. H is less than 0, mod h is equals to what? Minus h. Minus h by h, it is minus 1. Along negative real axis. Next, along the positive imaginary axis. So h is greater, that is h is greater than 0. H is greater than 0, here it is, the limit is what? IH we have, IH divided by h, which is limit h tends to 0, IH divided by h, which is equals to I, along positive imaginary axis. In the negative imaginary axis, minus 1, minus I, right? Now, how many limits we have? And just we consider, here it is, we consider the 4 directions only. Positive real axis, negative real axis. Positive imaginary axis, negative imaginary axis. So many ways also there. Infinitely many ways are there. If we consider the 4 ways, you have the 4 different limits. If the limit is exists for the function, then it is unique. Yes, for every function, if you want to find the limit, then it is unique. But we have the different limits. Yes, when we have the different limits, we say that it is not differentiable. Yes, so definition also, limit h tends to 0, f of z plus h minus f of z divided by h exists and finite. So we have the finite values, but it is not existing. That's why it is not differentiable. This is the best example, the function which is continuous but not differentiable, right? So this theorem is very important. That means the question may be like that. Show that every differentiable function is continuous. Is the converse is true? Justify your answer. That means you should give you are trying to give the example. That means f of z is equal to mod z. This is a perfect example for that the converse statement. Every continuous function need not be a differentiable. It is continuous but not differentiable. Okay. This is about the differentiability, the definition of the differentiability and the theorem. Next. Okay.